Alright, also look, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about UFC 308, and you know, with it being just around the corner, I thought I'd take a deeper dive into one of the most highly anticipated matchups on this card. The co-main event featuring the 13-0 wrestling phenom, Khamzat Borz Chimaev versus the former middleweight champion of the world, Robert the Reaper Whittaker. And you know, with that being said, my question to all of you is, could Bobby Knuckles potentially get it done? And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share so you can help me reach 1,500 subscribers by May. I'll deeply appreciate you. And make sure you join the official UFC Discord, link in the description. Alright, so look, real talk, I am not concerned about this fight whatsoever. I think Khamzat Borz Chimaev will once again impose his will on Robert Whittaker, just like how he has done with all 13 of his past opponents. And you know, people have been calling this a bad stylistic matchup for Khamzat Borz, but this isn't the first time we've heard this type of narrative. We've heard it all before, especially in his fight against Gilbert Dorinho Burns. And honestly, in retrospect, I'd have to agree with everyone on that take, because Gilbert Burns brought an elite Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu pedigree to the table, which could have possibly made Khamzat Borz a bit more hesitant to engage in the ground department with Gilbert Dorinho. Not only that, but Burns had some nuclear heavy hands, and you know, at the time, we all knew Khamzat Borz for not really having the best head movement. And you know, at the end, it was a tight and grueling fight, but you know, when it was all said and done, Khamzat Borz was the one to get his hand raised. The same story came up when he fought off against Kamaru Usman, and everyone in the MMA community was talking about how Marty from Nebraska was the more refined, the more powerful version of Khamzat Borz. And then once again, it was a close and competitive bout, but Khamzat Borz Chimaev's hand was raised when it was all said and done. People doubted Khamzat Borz in both of those fights, and then again and again he proved them wrong. Why would this fight be any different? Now looking at Bobby Knuckles, and you know, the reality is that he hasn't really looked that good recently. I mean, he was stopped by Dricus Du Plessis, and his performance against Paulo Costa left a lot to be desired. I mean, taking into consideration that Paulo Costa wasn't even that active, or wasn't even active at all leading up to that bout, yet Whittaker didn't even look particularly that impressive. And you know, there's this ongoing belief that Bobby Knuckles has this type of phenomenal takedown defense, and a lot of people are pointing toward his back-to-back fights with Yoel Romero as some type of evidence. They say if Yoel Romero, an Olympic level wrestler, couldn't hold him down consistently, then what makes you think that Khamzat Borz would be able to do so? And here's the thing, that is not the full picture. If you'd analyze Yoel Romero's UFC career, his wrestling wasn't as effective as a lot of people would have thought. He relied heavily on his striking and didn't really use his wrestling as offensively as much. In fact, once he transitioned to mixed martial arts, his wrestling didn't really play as much of a major role you'd expect from an Olympic level silver medalist. To further challenge this belief in Bobby Knuckles' takedown defense, then we'd have to look at what Dricus Du Plessis did to Boy. He took Robert Whittaker down with ease, and if Dricus Du Plessis can do that to you, then there is no doubt in my mind that Khamzat Chimaev, with his superior wrestling ability, won't be able to do the same, possibly even greater. I believe that Khamzat Borz is going to dominate Robert Whittaker from the first round, taking him down and controlling him just like he's done to many others before. Additionally, Khamzat has made some crucial adjustments to his preparation for this fight. For his previous camps, he was training in the Middle East, but this time around, he has went back to Russia to work at high altitudes around 1,800 meters in order to improve his cardio as well as his endurance. And honestly, this is a big factor considering that this fight is a 5-round co-main event that is potentially a title eliminator bout. And Khamzat knows deep within himself that he's got to be ready for the long haul, and he is taking his preparation very seriously. He's also brought in 2 top-level coaches in order to refine his skills. One is the head coach of the Swedish Muay Thai national team, which means that Khamzat is sharpening his striking ability, making him even more dangerous on the feet. The other coach is the well-renowned Russian freestyle wrestling coach who has trained Olympic champions, so his grappling is getting even more technical than it already is. On top of that, Khamzat has been training with Razambek Zamalov, the 2024 Olympic freestyle wrestling gold medalist. These additions to his camp show that Khamzat Borz is not only just relying on his natural abilities by himself, but is evolving and refining every aspect of his game moving forward. There is so much at stake for Khamzat Borz in this fight, and it's potentially his one and only shot in order to earn a title fight against Dricus du Plessis, possibly next year. And that added pressure combined with his hunger as well as his improved preparation makes him even more dangerous than he's ever been before. And we've seen how dominant Khamzat Borz is in the early rounds. I mean, round 1 Khamzat is quite literally a mystical fighter in how quickly he can overwhelm his opponents with his relentless pace, his wrestling, as well as his ground and pound. I firmly believe that Khamzat Borz Chimaev will get the job done against Robert Whittaker this Saturday night, and I am predicting that he'll either win this by a second round submission, or if Robert Whittaker can survive the early onslaught, by a dominant unanimous decision. So with that being said, I have Khamzat Borz Chimaev beating Robert the Reaper Whittaker. But that's all I've got to say for this video. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys have to say about UFC 308 Khamzat Borz Chimaev versus Robert the Reaper Whittaker? Let me know in the comment section below. But that about wraps up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.